We have Professor Nyong'es, is also the chairman. We have Dr. White, we have Dr. Cho, we have Dr. Nyangon, we have Nzi, we have Dr. Yeta. I don't think he has joined. Technical staff, we have 4 of them. The whole, the staffing, we are academic staff, we are 9, and we have 4 technical staff and several postgraduate students. Thank you very much. The students who are there, they can say who they are. Our students from the University of Nairobi Nord.
Good morning, everyone. This is Paul Ngai from University of Nairobi.
Good morning. I'm Rita Mwende from University of Nairobi.
Good morning. I'm Sister Mary Tabu, University of Nairobi.
Good morning. I'm Lynette Alan, an MSc student at the University of Nairobi.
Good morning. I'm Munala Yobes, University of Nairobi.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Sami Florent from Burkina Faso. I'm from University of Nairobi. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Brian Obino from the University of Nairobi.
Professor Duda, you are muted.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I believe they have introduced themselves, so I return it to the chair of the session.
Okay, thank you very much, the node coordinator for the University of Nairobi, who also doubles to be the chief coordinator for Msseesa. Thank you all the students and the staff for turning up. I know there are some who have not yet joined, so I think they'll join as we continue. So at this juncture, I'll want to invite the node coordinator for the University of Eldoret to introduce the staff and students. Node coordinator for the University of Eldoret, Professor Mamburi.
Has he joined? If he has not, you can move to those who are present.
Okay, fine. So I'll go to the University of Dar es Salaam node. The coordinator is Dr. Margaret Samiji. Can you please introduce your staff and your students?
Good morning, everybody. We've seated at the same venue. We are about 15 of us. We have Dr. Nurum Luka, Mr. Justin John, Miss Eva Shana, Mr. Haji, Mr. Ngasa Sai, Mr. Sawa Buai, Mr. Haidari Pandru Usi, Mr. Sungi Gilia. The rest will join us. Dr. Grace is vigilante exams. Dr. Komba is also vigilante exams. Professor Butwe Shaija will join us maybe tomorrow. And Dr. Philip will join us later. He's also in vigilante. I would like the members who are presenting to introduce themselves, starting with Dr. Nuru.
Hello, good morning. I am Nuru Luka. I'm actually the rapporteur for this session. Thank you.
You see, right?
Hello. Hello. Okay. Good morning. Justin Tibeluka, PhD student.
Good morning. My name is Eva Shana from University of Dar es Salaam.
Good morning. My name is Haji, a PhD student, University of Dar es Salaam.
Good morning. My name is Saim Das from University of Dar es Salaam.
Good morning. I'm Sumi Gideon, University of Dar es Salaam.
I think the rest can introduce them later, but we thank the organizing committee for a nice job. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Margaret Samij, the University of Dar es Salaam Node Coordinator. Thank you for joining this conference. Thank you all students also for joining the conference. So for now, I want to invite the Node Coordinator for Makerere University, who is Dr. Dennis Okello, to introduce his staff and students. Welcome, Dr. Okello.
Yes, thank you, Chair. I'm Dr. Dennis Okello, as you have introduced me. I'm the Node Coordinator for Makerere University. We are seated in a single venue, though we are still having some small challenge with network, but it's been corrected. With me here, I'm with Dr. Nyenga. Dr. Kulu Willie and Dr. Kware Kunda will be joining us later. And John Paul, who doubles also as a staff and at the same time a student, will be joining us. He's attending a seminar where one of our students is presenting. Then we are here with the PhD students. We have Pamela Kajumba, who is a PhD student. She'll be presenting. Zaina Nasango, an MSc student who is also presenting today. We have Alex Okello. We have Tusime Swale. We have other students who are just attending. They'll not be presenting, but the other MSc student, we have Francis Ochola, who is soon joining the research in this field. And I think the students will introduce themselves more during the presentation. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. the Node Coordinator for Makerere University, for introducing your staff and students. We want to welcome you all to this conference. So for now, I'll have University of Zambia Node Coordinator, who is Dr. Sylvester Hatwambo. Dr. Sylvester Hatwambo, have they joined? University of Zambia? Okay, if they are not there, then I'll go back to the University of Eldoret Node Coordinator, Professor Morris Mamburi, to introduce his staff and students. Professor Mamburi. Has Professor Mamburi joined? Okay, if he's not joined, then I think we'll continue with the program. So maybe we'll they'll come and introduce their staff and students later during the program. So the next part of the program is now an address to the participants by the Chief Coordinator and the Deputy Chief Coordinator for Msseesa. So I want to begin again with Professor Mamburi. if he has joined to give his address. Later
Yeah, I thought there's the welcoming. We have the chairman of the department. Let him, because this is organized.
Oh yes. Sorry for that, Chair. Yeah, we have the welcome address actually by the chairs of departments for Department of Physics, University of Nairobi, and Dr. Kennedy Muguro, University of Eldoret. So maybe we can begin with Dr. Kennedy Muguro, Chairman, Department of Physics, University of Eldoret. Dr. Kennedy Muguro, has he joined?
I would then ask that Nyongesa does so as we proceed, because UOE is delayed in joining.
Okay, so I'll ask then Professor Francis Nyongesa, who is the chairman, Department of Physics, University of Nairobi, to give his welcome address.
Thank you very much, Professor Mabora. I wish to acknowledge the presence of the Chief Coordinator, Professor Aduda. I wish to recognize the presence of the various nodes. I can see Tanzania, Margaret Samiji. We have nodes from Makerere, nodes from Zambia. And also, I think I can see members from the Eldoret node. I also want to wish to recognize the students from the various universities who have basically joined us. I want to welcome all of you to this virtual conference. I also wish to note in this conference, I note there are so many invited speakers. I can see we have speakers from Sweden, Professor Lars from Uppsala. I can see we have speakers from Germany. We have speakers from South Africa, Professor Msseesa. There is a Professor Amolo from TUK, and also Professor Prem from Zambia. So I note that this is going to be a very rich conference with a lot of, I think, distinguished keynote speakers who are going to give us a very good talk. And also I note that there's quite a lot of presidency from the students who are going to give presentations. So I expect that in this conference, basically we are going to interact and learn a lot from the keynote speakers as well as from the presentations, and also learn from among ourselves. And I also think the students will gain a lot, I think, from the interactions and also from the presentations. I know that this is a virtual conference. The second time we are holding this second Young Scientists Msseesa conference, which is on materials for solar energy conversion 2020. I think the last conference we held here was in Nairobi, United Kenya Club. That was quite a while ago. And I think I want to appreciate, I think, what the coordinating body has put in place to see that actually there is a conference and training for the young scientists. So I wish to welcome everybody. It's unfortunate it's a virtual conference because of this COVID situation. But if it was a physical conference, I think it would have been good to see all of you back again in Nairobi. I think we have been coming to Nairobi for the last 2 or 3 years. But nevertheless, we are still meeting virtually. We can interact virtually, and we look forward to a very fruitful discussion. So once again, thank you, everybody. Welcome, all the speakers, all the students from the various nodes, and we wish you a very fruitful discussion. So thank you very much, Professor Mabora. So I want to hand you over. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, Professor Nyongesa, the Chairman, Department of Physics, University of Nairobi. I don't know whether the Chairman, Department of Physics, University of Eldoret, has he come? Has he joined?
I can see Professor Mamburi has joined. Maganga has also joined, Dr. Maganga. Maybe they can tell us.
Okay, fine. So I think the chair maybe is not there. So I think we can continue with the program now. we go to the Deputy Chief Coordinator and the Chief Coordinator to give the address. So I'll want Professor Mamburi, who is the Deputy Chief Coordinator, to give his address, and then invite the Chief Coordinator, Professor Bernard Aduda, to give his address. Welcome, Professor Mamburi.
Yes, good morning to you all. I wish to welcome you to this conference. And for the next 3 days, we are going to share ideas as Msseesa. This is our first online conference, and there are a lot of new things we are trying, but science will remain science. Now, as University of World, we have been in constant collaboration with University of Nairobi, and also with other states and nodes. The key point here is that we want to see this collaboration going, Corona or no Corona. So I wish to thank all of you for attending this conference. So with that short statement, I wish to invite the Chief Court, that is Professor Bernard Aduda.
Okay, thank you, colleagues. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
On behalf of Msseesa, I want to thank you all for attending this virtual conference for the reasons that are well known to us. If it were not for COVID, we would have had face-to-face a conference at the University of Nairobi. It's already been said that this is the second conference that has been organized by Msseesa on solar energy conversion. The first one was held 2018. Last year, 2019, instead of having a regional conference like this, we had a postgraduate seminar under the auspices of Msseesa, and it was held at the University of Nairobi. The chairman, Locke, has given you what Msseesa stands for, and it is a network for material science and solar energy for Eastern and Southern Africa. As been mentioned, it comprises the following nodes, and here a node represents a university. The University of Dar es Salaam, the University of Makerere, or Makerere University, the University of Zambia, UNZA, the University of Eldoret, last but not least, the University of Nairobi. All of us know that material science as a discipline is one of the fastest growing disciplines in science, because materials affect us in every aspect of our lives. So therefore, there are very many researches and activities going on to develop new materials, improve the ones we are used to or we have been using more often, and so that we improve maybe their properties, efficiency of use, and so forth. So as a network, we have been in this area to support the growth of material science in our various universities. If you look at the program, I'm supposed to give an overview of Msseesa. Msseesa was born, or the concept was mooted in the year 2002 in Uppsala, when we had converged there to make presentations to the international science program that has been supporting several groups in the region. We were giving our proposal, we were presenting our proposals for funding. And one very cold night, we got marooned in the hotel we were staying in. We were Professor Robert Kivaisi, the late, Dr. Mbise, Professor Tom Otiti, Professor Banti Kassen from Addis Ababa University. Then we had Professor Mwamburi and myself. We came up with the idea, or we saw that there could be need to have a way of collaborating more closely with universities. Sorry, I forgot one name, from the University of Zambia, we had Dr. Chinyama. So we agreed that we could have a network. So we sold that idea to the then director of ISP, Professor Leonard Hasselgren. And the idea was bought into, and after several meetings, in 2009, Msseesa was formally born. So we have rotated coordination, starting with the University of Dar es Salaam, then Zambia, Makerere, and now Nairobi. And that's why I'm the coordinator. I'm just the first amongst equals. Having come that far, the mission of Msseesa is I'll read it, is to contribute to the socio-economic and industrial development in Eastern and Southern Africa region by fostering collaboration in training and research in material science and solar energy through mobilization of funds, efficient and effective use of human resource and infrastructure capacity. So you see, in that mission, it is very wide, and we had identified several strategic issues that we have been following. We had been focusing on institutional collaborations, that is both students and staff, development of a research infrastructure, that is through joint proposal writing and supporting one another in acquiring research equipment, skills enhancement for academic and technical staff, enrollment of or enhanced enrollment in postgraduate programs, dissemination of research outputs, and that is one of the reasons why we have been having these conferences and seminars, and trying to enhance gender inclusivity in both students and staff. So those are the issues, the 6 major issues that we have been pursuing as a network. And we've had reasonable success in trying to achieve what we had set out to do. We've had, we have organized conferences. We have organized regional seminars for postgraduate students. We have organized workshops. We have had exchange visits. Students from our nodes have visited the various labs to use equipment that they do not have in their own stations. We have sponsored students by giving them research consumables or giving them partial support in their endeavor to obtain their higher degrees. So we have had many interactions, and we would wish that we strengthen this. One of the reasons that was picked very long ago was that in our own countries without a network, we tended to do research in isolation. We didn't know who is doing what and so forth. So the network has tried to bring us closer together. We know one another well, and it is good for science when the researchers know one another and what they are doing. So these are the activities the network has focused on, and I believe we have been reasonably successful in these endeavors. So as a network, we therefore wish to continue doing this. We have had challenges as a network. The major challenge being that we have lost a number of our lead scientists prematurely through death. We lost, the first one to pass on was Dr. Msseesa from the University of Dar es Salaam, unfortunately. Then we lost Professor Kivaisi again, unfortunately. We lost Dr. Chinyama, which was again very unfortunate. And those are in the founding, those are the founding members. Then in the founding group, Professor Tom Motiti has retired. We have also had retirement from the University of Dar es Salaam, Dr. Wiso. We have also had retirement from Uganda, Tom Motiti, Kawa, and the others. So age is catching up with us very fast. And that is maybe causing a gap. We are not responsible for employment in our various universities. So when we lose our members through death or retirement, it leaves a gap. But we note that there could be replacements, but the rate of replacement is not as high. So that is a major challenge. The other major challenge we are facing is that the equipment we use is very expensive. So when they age also, cost of replacement is a challenge. The technical staff, they also retire, those who are experienced. So sometimes you find that it takes a very long time to have an equipment up and running when it breaks down. So it is important that when we visit our labs, we also use our equipment responsibly and with care. The other challenge that we also have, and we need to address it and keep on working together, is that our major support, financial supporter, has been the ISP. So we need to continually score around and look for further financial support outside the ISP, so that what ISP gives us is complemented by financial support from other sources. So that this gives us the opportunity that we work together to write joint proposals to seek for further funding from other sources. As I end, I want to appreciate the coordinating board for seeing fit that we proceed with this conference irrespective of the COVID-19 pandemic. It has also taught us to use technology because this is the first time we are doing this as a network. COVID-19 has also now caused us to have, we have had 2 board meetings via the online platforms. The students can also now interact more. So whereas COVID has caused havoc, but it has also forced our hands to go this way. So I want to thank the coordinating board for allowing the conference to proceed, albeit under different circumstances. I want to thank the ISP also for their continued support. The director of IPPS, Professor Kala, who has taken over from Ernst Groningen. So I want to thank them. And I want to thank all of you participants for coming and joining in this important conference. It gives us hope of continuity. So I want to end there, and I want to wish you well. Thank you again, and I wish you a joyous and successful conference. Thank you, Chair of the session.
Yeah, thank you very much, Chief Coordinator, for that address and also giving us a background of Msseesa, the activities which we have done and which we are planning to do, the challenges. So thank you very much for that. So our next program is opening session by the Dean School of Science, University of Eldoret, Professor Samuel Luther. But I'll ask that maybe before that, I see the node coordinator for the University of Zambia has joined us. Maybe you can go back so that he can, before the official opening, he can introduce his staff and students. So Professor Sylvester Hatombo, can you please introduce your staff and students from the University of Zambia North?
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Apparently, we are having some challenges. Although you are 1 hour ahead of us, but it's quite heavily raining in Zambia right now. So people haven't yet come, so they're on their way. In fact, even Dr. Munyati is just on the way coming to campus right now. So we are supposed to be at a particular venue. In the meantime, I'm still working from my office. I shall soon go there to that venue when we are done with the internet logistics. So as I told you, Professor Bora, yesterday, we just got the money yesterday and we are still running up and down to get the money into our hands. It's still at the bank. So with that in mind, maybe if there'll be time, I can introduce the members who will be here. At the moment, I'm just alone. So I don't know if there are any queries. Otherwise, I end there.
Yeah, thank you very much, Professor Sylvester Tombo. If there will be time within the day when you're all there, we'll give you the chance to introduce your staff and students. So I'll also want to the University of Eldoret Node coordinator to introduce his staff and students. Professor Mamburi.
Thank you, Chair. Now, my name is Randy Mamburi. I'm a professor of physics. And with me here in Nairobi, I have Dr. Maganga. I think you can see him waving there. And I have And I have also Dr. Mageto. Dr. Mageto, maybe you can wave. he has logged in, but his video is not showing. So I will ask Dr. Mageto and Naga to introduce the students. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Prof. I think I am seeing one student I know, I can recognize. And this is Judith Chebogen. Judith Chebogen has already graduated master's degree, and she should be presenting, so you'll be able to interact with her. She's the only one I can see who is present.
Okay. Thank you. The students I have are Nancy Kubare, Wycliffe Isoe, and Paul Aemba. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you for that, Dr. Maganga and Dr. Marquez. So I return the chair back to Dr. Mabora.
Okay, thank you very much, University of Eldoret North, for those introductions. So now we are going to a very important session where we'll have the Dean School of Science, University of Eldoret, Professor Samuel Luther, to give his speech and also officially open this conference. Professor Luther, welcome.
Okay, thank you, Professor Mabora. In fact, I'll start by thanking the conference organizers for giving me this opportunity to give my opening address and officially open the conference. I have a written speech, maybe I'll just read it, and then after that I'll give a few remarks. Start by welcoming the participants and the organizers of the conference, led by the Chief Coordinator and the Deputy Chief Coordinator, Professor Bernard Aduda and Professor Wamburi. So I thank and the organizers for honoring me by giving me the opportunity to deliver the opening address and officially open the conference. So it's my pleasure to welcome you all to the second Young Scientists, Material Science and Solar Energy for Eastern and Southern African Conference. On materials for energy conversion. So this conference serves the best scientists in Eastern and Central Africa. It is my hope that at the end of this conference, all of us are going to gain extensively in terms of knowledge and sharing of ideas that can positively transform our society and spark innovations. So this conference comes at the most opportune time as our nations in Eastern and Southern Africa are on their heels for industrial takeoff, where energy is a crucial factor. I wish to thank most sincerely the organizers of the conference for making this conference a success despite the current challenge of COVID-19 pandemic. So the conference is in line with the objectives of MSSEESA, which are, number one, to assist network members to build and sustain a critical mass of credible scientists through postgraduate training and research in areas of material science and solar energy, to implement cost-effective utilization of available resources in sub-region to promote and facilitate dissemination and exchange of information. So these three objectives are actually key in terms of mentorship and also sharing scientific information that are important for innovation and industrial growth of our nations. So I believe by the end of the two-day conference, practical solutions will be suggested to revitalize utilization of resources and materials for energy sector in East and Central Africa. The conference will also create immense resource and knowledge pool on material science and solar energy scholars, and we hope that the best papers will be picked in this conference and are going to be published, and the journal will be an ignition spark into research on material science and solar energy in Eastern and Southern Africa. Allow me at this moment to recognize and extend our warm appreciation to the sponsors of the conference, ISP, and on behalf of materials science and solar energy for Eastern and Southern Africa, we are grateful and happy of your support. We look forward to partnership with you in similar and also other endeavors. I'll make a few remarks before I officially open the conference. And I think a lot has been said. And the challenge that we are now facing is most of our scientists are now retiring, the old ones. And there is actually need for us to mentor new ones who should now be able to take over from us. And I'm very pleased that this is one of the consortium which is looking at this crucial factor. We try to look at our universities and you'll find that we still have those old scholars who have been there for quite some time, and we have not actually taken time to train young people who can now be able to take over from us and make this scientific society keep burning and growing. I think it has been mentioned by the chief coordinator that we have also lost some of our members through this COVID pandemic. And it's important that we focus on, it was quite unfortunate, but it's important that we try and focus to train new scientists who will be able to take over from us. And we know that we also have a challenge as a nation and also in the region in terms of facilities. And I'm actually encouraging members to think of us working together through networking. It is difficult now to work as individuals if you are supposed to grow our resources. And we are even thinking of in future to come up with what we call national laboratories, so that these national laboratories can be facilitated by various institutions and also the government. And this can only be possible through networking, which this consortium is doing. So I think with those few remarks, you'll allow me to declare this conference officially open. I wish you all the best as we try to share information during the two-day conference. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much, Professor Samuel Luther, chief guest, for your speech and officially opening this conference. So according to our program, we still have some time up to 10 when we go for coffee break. We need to go for coffee break, and then we'll have our first keynote speaker give his speech at 10:15. So for these few minutes, I know there are some participants who have not been introduced. Maybe they are not within the Msseesa node, or maybe they have not joined us. I think I can give them the chance within these 10 minutes, just individually, just to introduce themselves. And then from there, I'll introduce the keynote speakers, and then we go for break. So participants, any participants who are not
Professor Mabora.
Yes.
Allow me to interrupt a little bit. Just a matter of a little bit, is it protocol or something? Can we appreciate the Dean for actually taking time to come and join us on this particular occasion? very early in the morning and for officially opening the workshop. If I can invite, if you allow me, can I invite, there's this gentleman who is good at that, Dr. Waita, to maybe lead us to appreciating the day. Dr. Waita.
Yeah, Prof. I mean,
yes.
Thank you so much for that. And I think we can appreciate the dean, and we can do the staircase. You can unmute, and then we just clap for him. Why not? And we do the staircase. We did staircase up to 50th floor, which is very good for him. So we go, then, 5. Mpaka 5 and then we tunampatia. All right. So ladies and gentlemen, I think we can go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Thank you so much. And let's continue well. Asante sana.
Thank you very much, Dr. Waita and Mr. Msseesa, for reminding us to appreciate the Dean. Dean, thank you very much for taking your time and open this conference. We know you are a very busy person, but you found time to come and open our conference. And we'll welcome you to attend our session. If you have time, we'll be here till Friday at midday. So in case you get time, you can just pop in and come and listen to some of these presentations. I know you have the program, so thank you very much for this. So as I said, I think there are some participants before this break. I just want to give them a chance to just introduce themselves before I introduce the speakers. Then we go for break. So any participant?
Hello, I'm Radol, master student from University of Eldoret. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Radol. Any other?
Hello, good morning.
Morning, Helen.
I'm Isabel Chisulo from the University of Zambia. Thank you. I'm a master's student in the Department of Chemistry.
Okay, welcome. Thank you very much.
Oh, good morning.
Morning.
Hello.
Hello, we are here.
Yes, this is Alex Okello. I'm a student from Makerere University in Uganda.
Okay, thank you very much, Alex. Welcome.
Hello.
Hello. Lusato Majura from the University of Dar es Salaam as academic staff.
Okay, thank you. Welcome.
Morning, everyone.
Morning.
Hello. I'm Mogunda Charles, University of Nairobi, PhD student.
Thank you very much, Charles. Welcome.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
I'm Lamek Tembo from the University of Zambia. I'm a master's student.
Okay, thank you very much, Lamek. Welcome. Any other?
Hello, I am Mila Chaspala from the University of Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Mila. Welcome.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, I'm Helen Ouma from the University of Nairobi. I'm a master's student.
Okay, welcome, Helen.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
My name is Francis Gaido, academic staff from Masinde Muliro University. Thank you for inviting me. I want to sit and listen. Thank you.
Thank you, Francis. Welcome.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
I'm a master student, University of Dar es Salaam.
Okay, thank you, Sai. Welcome.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm Dr. Rapando Wahu.
from Msseesa University of Science and Technology, Department of Physics. Thank you for inviting me to this conference. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Wahu.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm Nancy Obare from the University of Msseesa.
Okay, thank you very much, Nancy. Welcome. Okay, so if all the participants have introduced themselves, I'll want to take this opportunity now to introduce the keynote speakers. I'm not sure whether they are around, but I'll just call their names. The first one is Professor Lars Osterlund from Uppsala University. Is he here? Okay. And then the other one is Professor Richard Bryce from Karl Ruche Institute of Technology, Germany.
Yeah, good morning to my African colleagues. I hope you can hear me.
Yes.
Yeah, hi, Julius.
Yes, good morning.
Okay, so brief introduction. I will be talking to you later this morning about photocatalytic materials for water treatment. I am a professor actually in electrical engineering at the Karlsruhe Institute of Technology, and we work on many different kinds of solar energy materials for solar cells, and now moving a little bit into the area of photocatalysis. So thank you to the people who invited me, especially Julius and my friend Margaret and Nuru from the University of Dar es Salaam. I look forward to interacting with you more later. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Prof, for that. We welcome you to this conference. You are free to join us in all the sessions if you have some time. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So the next keynote speaker is Professor George Amolo from Technical University of Kenya. Is he around? Professor George Amolo? Okay, it looks like he's not around, but you'll see him. He accepted to give a keynote speech. And then the other one is Professor Msseesa Diale from the University of Pretoria, South Africa. Prof. Diale. Okay, she's not in, but I'm sure you'll interact with her. The other one is Professor Prem Jain, University of Zambia. So Prem Jain, University of Zambia. He's not in, so I'm sure you'll interact with her. So for now, I also see Professor Munyati. I think he's just joined us. I don't know, maybe you can introduce yourself before we go for break. Professor Munyati.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Onesimus Munyati. I'm a senior lecturer in the Department of Chemistry, and I'm also a board member of Msseesa. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. So I want to thank you all for attending this session. We'll take a short break, and then we come back at exactly 10 a.m. So that we can join, so that by 10:15 we have our first keynote address, which will be chaired by Professor Mamburi, and the rapporteur, I think, will be Professor Msembi. So Professor Mamburi will chair that session, the keynote, and then Professor Msembi will be the rapporteur. So thank you very much. So let's meet at 10:10. Thank you very much.